novel, brazen but true. I mean, it's based on fact. It's a story of a 60-year-old British man who in 1961 allegedly stole a painting worth, at the time, £140,000, a lot of money, from the National Gallery in London. And he did that because it was against a law which saw people charged a licence fee simply for owning a television. The painting in question is Goya's portrait of the Duke of Wellington, and that's where the title The Duke is drawn. The feel-good comedic drama sees a guy called Kempton Bunton, played by Jim Broadbent, as part of a somewhat dysfunctional family. He's a man prone to investing his time and energy into various causes. He stands up for injustice when he perceives something isn't right. He is a prolific writer, though nothing he's written has resonated with the outlets where he sent the manuscripts, nor can he seem to hold down a full-time job. Meanwhile, his less than impressed wife, Dorothy, played by Helen Mirren, it's the most dour Helen Mirren you're likely to get. She's a cleaner to make ends meet. At home is a younger son called Jackie, Fionn Whitebread, who dotes on his dad. Then there's the elder son, Kenny, Jack Bandera, who is not averse to unlawful practices, and he's taken up with a separated woman, much to his mother's chagrin. But the real elephant in the room is their daughter Marion, who unfortunately died in a tragic bicycle accident at the age of 18. Kempton visits her grave regularly, has written a play about that, but his wife cannot bring herself to talk to him about her, right? So she can't speak to her husband about the daughter that they lost. After Kempton gets into trouble for refusing to pay for a television licence, he decides to take drastic measures. The screenplay is by Richard Bean and Clive Coleman, and it's unfortunately the final time in the director's chair for Roger Michell, who did Notting Hill. He passed away at the age of 65 last September, and it's very sad indeed. And it's got a noteworthy twist, but it's played strictly for laughs. In fact, it's largely light and fluffy, notwithstanding its sad undertone, Greg.
Yeah, look, this is another film that proves that fact is often stranger than fiction, although you suspect that the writers, who you mentioned, those playwrights, Richard Bean and Clive Coleman, have taken a bit of liberty with some of the facts here for dramatic purposes, and it also touches on universal themes such as class, social justice, inequality and so forth there. I like Broadbent here. I thought he was really superb with a genial, larger-than-life presence as the eccentric Kempton there. And he makes him more of a sympathetic character, a Monday Robin Hood type character. And I thought the normally glamorous and stylish Helen Mirren goes for a more dowdy look here, as you said, Alex, here as his long-suffering wife, with her unflattering grey cardigans, a grey dress sense, a grey hair. In fact, she's a very grey person, glasses and a slouch posture there. But I thought that she and Broadbent developed a nice odd couple dynamic here. Mirren is more a supporting player here, though. This is very much Broadbent's film there, and I thought the film really came alive during the courtroom sequences there, as he charms and beguiles the court with his humour and genial nature and colourful stories there, and they were the highlight of the film for me. So recall some of those classic comedies of the old Ealing studios as well. There's some superb production values there that captured a period there as well. So I quite enjoyed this one, Alex.
Did you? It's interesting because, I mean, to me, you've got, you're right, Jim Broadbent, he revels in the starring role. I thought his timing was exemplary. Helen Mirren's quite convincing as in this sort of uncharacteristically downbeat role, probably best described as sort of tough love. And Kempton's basically painted as a good guy caught up in a bad system. But there's an air of unrealism about what we're seeing, so much so that even time in the clink doesn't seem like a big deal. And the courtroom scenes you referenced in particular seem like opportunities for levity and wit, the chance to deliver some choice one-liners. I would have liked it to be darker. I mean, honestly, I would have. What do you reckon, Dave?
No, I kind of liked it. I love British comedy, so I think that really helped me enjoy this film more. But this is another one where I got a little bit of a different insight because I got to interview one of the producers of the film, and she said that one of the things that's interesting about this story is it's actually the first time it's been told publicly because the family members had to sign a document with the British police to basically say that they wouldn't talk about what actually happened in public for an amount of time. As she said, when she actually first read what happened, she thought, there's no way this actually happened. It has to be fake. It was only when she did her research that she found out, no, this did in fact happen. It's all real. But I think they made it comical because the man himself was humorous. She said, reading his writing and reading his diary, he was a very humorous man. So I think it actually needed that sense of comedy to really nail what he was like as a person.
Well, to me, the longer the film went, the more lighthearted it seemed to get, so much so I actually found it hard to take as a reflection of reality. It's pleasant enough. I thought the movie could have done immeasurably better had the filmmakers reduced the comedy and upped the drama, Peter.
No, I think it works very well as a comedy. I spoke to Nikki Bentham, similarly probably to you, Dave, about the film, and she's an Australian-born, UK-based producer. And when she found this material, because this is her first major film, when she found this material and noticing the humour that was laced throughout the events that happened in 1961 in England when the painting was stolen, etc., that it had to be a comedy. It had to be, to some extent, similar to an Ealing comedy of the 50s and 60s that were very popular in the UK at the time, and that to tell the story as accurately as possible with a few minor embellishments was important, so that the humour would come out of the whole social justice issues surrounding around pre-Thatcherite Britain at the time, and so it was partly a social commentary, partly a film about the events that happened, and partly about the incredible situation that someone could steal a painting from the National Gallery of London without any major difficulty, and yet it's all true. So, no, I found this a very enjoyable film, very well made, and I think it's going to be very much an audience-pleasing film.
Oh, yeah, there's no doubt about that. I mean, there's a gentle gloss or hue over it, but I'm sorry, I wanted a heavier edge. I was frustrated by the end. So 6.5 out of 10 for me for The Duke, rated M. What about you, Peter?
I really enjoyed it, 8 out of 10.
Greg?
7 out of 10.
And Dave?
Yeah, I loved it too, 8 out of 10.
Excellent. And that is The Duke on JS.